Hey everybody, this is Pastor Nat with Win the Day from Back to the Bible. Today we're going to talk about the relationship between parents and children. Parenting isn't for wimps. If I ever write a parenting book, that is what I will call it. Now, if I ever write a book for kids, it'll be called, Trust Me, Your Parents Aren't There to Make Your Life Miserable. No, really. You got to admit, that's a good book title for kids. But let's face it, being a son or a daughter, it can be really hard. Being a parent can be mind-boggling. But there are a few simple strategies to navigate home life with better success. We're going to actually find these today in Colossians chapter 3, beginning in verse 20. Children, always obey your parents, for this pleases the Lord. Fathers, do not aggravate your children, or they will become discouraged. Two audiences, two very strong words for both. Remember, Paul has been talking about displaying our new nature at home. Yesterday, he addressed husbands and wives, and today, he is talking to parents and children. He begins by saying, "Children, obey your parents, for this pleases the Lord." Now, you probably know, but this almost mirrors the passage in Ephesians 5. Now, this command is for anyone who is under the authority of a parent or guardian. That is, unless, of course, your parent is asking you to sin. Now, chances are your parents are God-honoring people who want your best, so you should have no problem obeying. Now, as an adult, maybe even as a kid, what they're asking may sound silly to you. But if you're under their roof, it is God-honoring to obey. Now, you may be wondering, does this apply to the 25-year-old, the 35-year-old, or even the 50-year-old who is back in the house? I hate to break it to you, the answer is yes. But I want you to know this. Paul doesn't want your life to be miserable. That's why he says, Fathers, do not aggravate your children, or they will become discouraged. Fathers really should be translated as parents, as it is in Hebrews 11. Like I said in the beginning, parenting is not for wimps. It's really hard. I read a ton of parenting books before we had kids. I read a lot of books, and now that I'm 14 years into parenting, I still struggle. It's really hard. You see, it's very easy to do things that are going to frustrate my kids and harm my kids' growth in Christ if I'm not careful. As parents, as guardians, we can be overprotective to a fault. We can be overbearing and overworking. We can show favoritism. We can shame our kids. We can manipulate them. We can become overly critical. We can frustrate them by not giving them enough boundaries. There are so many ways to frustrate our young and even our adult kids. Putting on the new nature at home, it never stops. That's why this is my challenge for you today. Whether a parent, guardian, or a child living at home, what can you do to put on your new nature in Christ? If you're a child living at home, how can you display Christ to your parents or your guardian? Maybe today you're a parent or a guardian, maybe a grandparent. How can you display that new nature of Christ in you? Regardless if you're a child, a parent, or a guardian, you may need to apologize as part of displaying your new nature. That's okay. Do it, and then show them Christ. Christ makes all the difference in the world and at home. So let's display that new nature one day at a time.